Bonjour, monsieur. So, I'm back. And this time with the bank holiday application. The idea over here is that the end user can select a particular country and see all the bank holidays for that particular country. Very interesting for multinational companies if they have offices all over the globe. So the end users don't really have to go to Google and look for that particular country's holidays. Just go to Connect and the information is there. Technically, we would be covering up the template of quick view. I learned a bit tips and tricks over there, and also on action handlers for the quick view buttons. So the application we are going to write is something like this. A user can see, go to quick view, select one of the countries he is interested in, let's say Belgium, load, and then I can see all the holidays, bank holidays for that period. Close it, and then we store it in in a local storage behind the scenes, so that if a user again comes to Viva Connect application, our bank holidays are already over there. Let's see how to go about writing this basic application. The first thing I'm going to do is to, of course, scaffold this application. Let's go there. So, hey, yo. I like the word yo. I don't know who thought about it, but it's nice. Yes. What's your solution name? Let's call it Bank Holidays. It's an adaptive card extension. It's a primary text template. Yes. Let's call the class that will be created. Not bank holidays, but bank class holidays. Sorry. Okay. Now it's going to scaffold the project for us. Now our project is scaffolded. Before we go any further, there are a couple of things which I would like to change as per my taste. So what is the initial URL? Paste it here. That's one thing. Don't forget to save it, and then tslint. Let's put this to false. I'm very lazy and I don't want to put another semicolon just to satisfy the demands of TypeScript. So I would change that value over there. I think that's pretty much good. Let's see if the project is still building. So call build. While the build happens, there are a couple of changes which I always do to any project. The first thing is I'm export all the interfaces and all the types into a separate file, which is called models. We'll be creating that in a minute. And also, if there is any constants like this, I export them again to the constant, their own respective files. So let me go ahead and copy these two files for us. Copy, so that would be my constants and also my model. Well, let's see the constants. It's lots of other information also over there right now, but those were the two key pairs which we had over there in the main class. What do we have? We have the API again for figuring out which country, all the holidays. It's a data.nature.at. It's an API. We need to just put in the name of the country code in the end, and we get the JSON back. And then we have another key, which is bank holidays, local storage key. It's to add it because we are storing the pre-selection values for an end user. So we store that in a local storage and then read it again. And then I have the list of all the countries and the names. So this is the drop down which we just saw. And this is the models file. Forget about all those things, but those two were the interfaces which I copied from the main classes. uh, so let's try to build this thing up. So that means I need to delete all the four here. So that goes. Property pane I think is good, and then there should be quick view, of course, so this should also go. Rather I can simply fix it here. Let's call it models. That's nice. Let's copy this thingy, Control C, and then we go to card view. We can do away with this. It has a constants also, so we need to change it. Paste this, and then we need to import constants. I love when Visual Studio just completes it. He gets what I'm thinking. I like that idea. So that's for card view. Quick view already changed. Okay, another thing I just saw here, quick view, this has to go because I have defined it, rather redefined this object in my models again. So this can also go, but we need to import the interface here like this. Voila. Okay, forget about it for the time being. It's because I have changed the template, the structure of quick view data. Let's call it return null if it can, and then in JavaScript this would have worked. And I think that's what I liked about JavaScript, plain old JavaScript. See and save. Let's see if it builds. Build. Okay, perfect. Let's get one more, couple of more files into the solution. So it would be, let's do this. Oops, come on my mouse. Let's paste it here. So I have my bank holidays, just a method. I call in the API. From here, all the API is loaded in the constants section. Get the response. Yeah, it's nothing new happening over here. The only cool thing is because of TypeScript I have the data type over here. Let's have the bank definition. What exactly does it do? A bank holiday, it should have a date, locale, in which language you would like, and the name. So that's my actual holiday. Then I have a iCountry holidays interface telling that's the name of the country, that is the code, and then those are the holidays, and then country list to load into the drop down. quick view data, that is the object, that is the type that goes into the quick view class, and over there I'm specifying I need the country list and list of holidays also. We will check how this thing plays around, and then those two interfaces. I get all my bank holidays back, and then it's up to the calling application to do whatever he wants to do. And then the other one is the local storage, because we'll be storing all that information in a local storage. Pretty straightforward, nothing new about it, but the only cool thing I liked about was the types. So basically all the functions, set time and get item, for example, they would return an iLocal storage return value. So it's an object that has the actual stored object already typed back. So that means if you are sending a car class object to be stored in local storage, it will return you the car class object. So type is always already taken care of, and then the storage data of when exactly it was stored, in case you would like to invalidate it or delete it or whatever. Ideally this should go into a local library component. If I've already done a series on that one, so please do have a look at it. These kind of common functions should go there. Now, having said that, let's go ahead and write some actual code. If I go to card extension, now this is where all the magic has to happen. You know, we calculate on the local storage. When the card loads, the onIt function will get called, and then I'll say, hey, read the local storage and pre-fill me. If no, then just show no country has been found, and that kind of an error. But before I do that, I need to import some interfaces. Let's copy these two. Was it here? I think it's the same from models. Okay, this dot state. Now, why is this error coming up? Because I have a state object, and within state object, you can see the type information. I'm storing a property. It's a sub object, and then it has to be of the type iCountry holiday data, all the information over there. But for the time being, since we are not using it right now on state, let me say holiday state data, just default it to null. We shall see what to do with you. And these one, I need to import my constants. Let's go there and come over here, paste and paste and paste, of course. Nice. Are we able to build it still? And it works pretty nice, pretty nice. Now, once we are here, let's go ahead and write some real code. Let me copy paste a bunch of it. This one, Control C. So over here, we are not doing much, honestly. All we do is we initialize our state, and then we go to local storage, and I try to figure out if there was a previous entry or not. If there is, I set the state, and then I leave it up to navigator and quick navigator to do whatever they want to do. So let's go ahead and quickly import local storage also. Okay, dokie, I need country data also, so this one can come here. In the models, let's do this. That's more beautiful. So that is pretty much it. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at what the card view is doing. That's all by default, and I'm going to change my card view to something slightly different. If there is no country related holidays data existing in the local storage, basically first time, then simply go ahead and return empty strings. Otherwise, if there is some holidays data already stored, then pick up that country's name. That's the name of the country and how many holidays they have, 11, 12, 30, whatever it is. And then you have the name of the country, rather the code of the country over here, and then you have the length. Pretty straightforward implementation. The idea again here is the state would be set really and in the quick view when the pop-up opens and we select the country, and then it's at that time that we store the state, and we only read it at the time of extensions class, you know, when onInit function. And for all other use cases, just use this dot state. That is the single source of truth we have. Okay, so nothing over here. Let's go ahead and check out the quick view, which is actually the meaty part of the application. And I'm going to paste a bit of code. Let's see. Okay, Okay, looks good. Let's reformat it a bit. Okay, that's good. We will be importing over there. Okay, let's go ahead and import bunch of constants. Should be one. Then we need the models, of course, but models is already there. That's why I like putting all my interfaces in one position. Honestly, it saves me a bit of effort. uh, I am, as I think everyone knows by now, I am extremely lazy. So import local storage from, it should rather be, no, we have to go up, and local storage, should that be, idly between you and me, when we go to production, when I have to release it, I just replace all these semicolons from all my solutions. I mean, can't we just do away with one extra character? I'm pretty sure if we remove, if we don't use the semicolons anymore, all the coders all over the world, that we might be able to solve the world hunger problem. I sincerely believe so. Somehow it's waiting for the countries. This is the drop down creator, so let's import the countries from here. Right, so what are we doing in data? Pretty straightforward. If we have something about the holidays, then I create an array specifically, all the holidays that are part of that country, country's bank character, the title, the some name of the country in the title, and subtitle. Nothing fancy about this. These two are the more important ones. So the country of the country list, it's again an array, and list holidays, of course, an array. So let's let's quickly have a look at what's going on in the template. First of all, I have changed the version to 1.3 rather than 1.2, which comes by default with the human generator template. Unfortunately, we can't go really to the most recent version of Adaptive Card, because Connect as such is a bit behind on that front. Then I print the title, nothing else. So if there are any holidays in the length, then I just print the name of the holiday, the local, and the date. This is the object which we just discussed. And over here I have another choice, input type choice, which is the drop down. For a drop down, is multi-select has to be false, so that it becomes a drop down, and then you can simply put all the values. Data property is again very interesting. What it means is whatever element it is going to print, Adaptive Card is going to render. If there is a data element, render this structure again and again based on how many entries there are in that array. Pretty okay for the timing. Let me remove the when clause over here. This thingy. Another part, lastly, that is the section for Adaptive Card, and this is the schema that actually renders a button. So that means action.submit. There are 2-3 different types available. I think URL is one of them, so that we can redirect user to somewhere else. So that is the type, very important, and the title is whatever you want. Associated control is country choice set. So what this actually means is that whenever a user submits the button, clicks on it, that is the control whose data should be sent back to my quick view class. So if you see the country choice set ID, this is basically same in my case with the input choice, the drop down values, right? So having said that, let's save everything and then see if we can still build the project. Save, okay. Nope, there have been some errors. Let's go ahead here. Why cannot it find it? Control C. Did we not import? Of course, we did not import the interfaces. Let's do this. What else is he cribbing about? Bank holiday. Okay. And it should be models. Get bank info. Ideally, I should have created perhaps a utility function, utility class, and then put get bank bank info over there. But again, in production, it should be, it could be in local storage. Sorry, in library component. Okay, so let's go to get bank holidays. Looks good. Can we still build the solution? Build. Most of the time, if it builds, it usually is okay. Life is still okay. Shadow name quick view. Hey, what is going on here? I have these two. Interesting. You know what? It was working because I had tested it anyway, but it's not a good idea because you see both. Okay, it's a promise, that's why it gets its own context, but usually I would have named them differently, but let's keep it like this. But anyway, what is OnAction, by the way? We forgot about it. In Viva connections cards, there is no we cannot define the on click of each input controls like we could do it in standard HTML JavaScript. So we could write different on click handlers for different inputs and different actions. That's not possible. So we get one on click action, if you can say, which is this one. It puts you an action inside the object, and it gives you all the data with the data property, and then which control. I think it has action.id, and it tells you which control has been fired. So if you have 3 buttons, your 3 buttons would have different IDs. So please do have a look at my other course where I explain all these concepts in a bit more detail. So I get my data local storage from there. I call my bank holidays. So this is my drop down value. I put in the drop down value. I give it for what year, because that API needs it. I get my bank holidays back, and I set my state. And then of course I store it in my local storage. Pretty straightforward. So if this works, we should be golden. Yes, let's do a gulp serve and say, woohoo, can I be a winner today? No, of course not. Okay, that's because I have something else running on it, which I'm going to close immediately. Let's refresh. I know. Let's refresh the thingy. I think if we see, that's our bank holidays card, and oh, it seems to be working. Okay, let me maximize it. Come on, card, just always open it in large. So I had something in the local storage, I think. So let's go ahead and simply clean everything. So if I go to clean, clear, yeah, blah 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 blah. Let's do it this way. So no country set, because yeah, of course I had nothing in the data, nothing did it. So we go to quick view. I would like to see for the Belgium. Notice how on click nothing changes, but if I click on load, only then this thing happens. And I think the reason is that adaptive cards as such cannot handle the drop downs on click, on select events as such. So unfortunately we have to click on load, but they are, I think, working on it to improve that. to include that functionality also. But for the time being, okay, that's how it works. That's how I work. I cloak in and it shows. Hey, so we first time lucky. I must say I have done so many of these videos. You have no idea how many times I have to do it again and again and again and again just to get the code right. But somehow today is my lucky day. So the other thing I had in mind to discuss was the when clause. Somehow I cannot make it work. So I think that also is a bit of a problem. It seems to be more to me a bug. So for example, if I do this, so what I wanted to do is if there is no holidays, then just don't even print the initial blank values. As per adaptive cards, it should work, but apparently that does not that doesn't work for me. So to show you what I mean, let's me clear everything again and I refresh it. See, I don't have anything right now. If I click on quick view, I get these two values, and that is because my object array is empty. So that's why I had written this and clause, if clause, but I don't seem to be getting anywhere near it. You know, it should have, ideally, as per the documentation, this should have been hidden, not shown anymore. But yeah. So I hope guys you liked the video. If you did, please hit like, share and subscribe. It will keep me motivated to create more such content. Otherwise I'm too lazy. Bye bye.